Have you looked outside this morning? If you're in my neck of the woods? Two to four. I was just sitting here over coffee and a smoke thinking about how gorgeous it would be up north right now. Whenever we get this first snowfall like this that sticks, but the lakes aren't froze over yet, I love being out there muskie fishing. It's just, you got stark contrast. So the water is black and all the shorelines and the islands are white. And it's just gorgeous. I won't be muskie fishing this year. Too much stuff to do. I remember one time, quick story, years ago, I was on a lake muskie fishing where I lived, central Wisconsin. And I'm out there because I was hardcore at the time. It was toward the end of the season, so I felt compelled to go. I used to fish every time the last day of the muskie season, I would go out, no matter what. If the boat landing was froze over, I would literally drive my trailer out on top of the ice and jump up and down on the boat until it fell through the ice. Or I'd take a chisel and I'd chisel around the trailer until it dropped, launch the boat, and then chisel my way out to get out to the open water. It was tradition. Had to do it. Last day of the year. Wasn't going to get to go until June of the next year. Had to be done. And oh my God, there was days that I saw fish. I didn't catch them, but I saw them. But anyway, this particular day I'm out there doing that. And it was snowing, and these big globs of flakes were just falling straight out of the sky. And then it hit that black water, and they just disappear, kind of like a light that was, snuffed out. So that in itself was cool. The clouds were real low. The ceiling was real low. You could almost take your fishing rod and stick it up and poke the clouds. And the water was just black. Contrast with that white. All of a sudden I hear this racket, this blah, 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 blah. I'm like, what the hell is that? Over my head. Never heard it before. Out of this cloud bank drops this flock of snow geese and lands on the water in front of the boat. Damn near buzzed my head. We don't get snow geese here. We're not on the flyway for snow geese. That's all out Dakotas and stuff like that, Minnesota and whatnot. But we don't get them here. So I had never seen snow geese. I was just like, so you got the combination of the snow falling down, calm, foggy, and then a big flock of snow geese dropping out of the clouds and landing on the water right in front of you. It just stopped me in my tracks. I mean, at mid-cast, I'm like, it's moments like that in nature that just, like a light switch, it just flick off all the thoughts in your heads, all your problems, all your troubles, and it's 100% focused on that moment because it's so impressionable. I'll never forget it. So being on the water right now would be cool. Be really cool. But no fishing for me this year. Too much of this going on. So I want to make a quick video. I made a video earlier this morning, but that sumbitch ran into 60 minutes. So I got to shorten this up. I didn't get much done under the trailer yesterday. I got 2 more sections of screen put up, and that was it. I spent more time inside the house here because I had things I had to do in here. I'm trying to get that back bedroom set up. I came across a dresser in my route during the week. I had a hair. I came across a dresser for free on my route during the week, straight out of the 70s. And that hair is still there. And so I grabbed it. Free's good. And I need a dresser bad. The one I have is a Bensonhurst piece of shit. And I got way more clothes than I thought I owned. I got no place to go with them. So as a result, the back bedroom is nothing but boxes and garbage bags full of clothes and other sundry stuff. So I was like, I got to do something about this. The diva and I are trying to fix things, um, trying to make it work, and she can't sleep on the couch. So I'm trying to set up the back bedroom for her so that there's a bed in there, so if she comes over and spends the night, she can be comfortable and have a bed for other reasons. But anyway, so that's been bugging me for like months. So I get this dresser, and it's supposed to go in the bedroom, and I can't even get into the bedroom to put the dresser in there. So I'm like, all right, now's the time to do it. So yesterday morning, I'm in there moving stuff around. I was able to get to the window finally, so I was able to pull the window air conditioner out for the winter. Got this one out too. Got those in storage. Moved stuff around. I was able to get that dresser in there. Well, then I'm thinking about, okay, all the stuff that's in these bags that's on the floor is winter coats and hats and gloves and stuff like that. Well, that's going into the spare bedroom, which is going to become my storage room. I'm going to build racks, shelving all the way around the periphery of the room to store stuff on in totes, or neaterize everything and organize. And I'll have a little workbench in there for a in-home workshop. Right now I'm doing all my work on the kitchen counter and in the kitchen, and once the kitchen's remodeled, never again. So I got to put a little workbench in there to do stuff like that because I don't have a garage anymore. So I'm like, well, I got to clean out that nook, that little corner that's going to be a closet. Well, all my fishing rods are in there, tackle boxes, stuff like that. So all that stuff got hauled to storage for now until it finds its home on the ceiling. Once I get the beams up, you know, everything has to happen in a sequence of events. So I worked on that, got that organized, got the dresser in the back bedroom, etc., etc. So I didn't get much done underneath the turd here, except for putting up 2 sections of screen and taking a look at the next section I got to deal with, which is where the water supply line comes up into the building from underneath. The insulation's kind of dropped away from that area too, and I got to shore that up. I'm not going to gut it and redo it. I'm just going to shore up what's there and hold it up with Tyvek and screen. So I spent most of the day inside, but I got stuff done, so I'm pretty jacked. But the diva and I are going through a rough patch right now. She's going through, I don't know if it's a midlife crisis or what, but she's going through some self-revelation issues about how she wants her future to continue from here on out, which is cool. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not faulting her for that. But I've been, I don't have a filter when it comes to my mouth, so I've been making comments about her past and her history and past relationships and comparisons and things like that. And it's literally driving her crazy, and she can't handle it. She's trying to get these people out of her head. She's trying to purge herself from this negativity of her past, and all I'm doing is re-stoking the flame, you know, so the bad flame. So that's my bad, you know. I'm one of these people that situation comes up or a comparison is there, and I'm like, oh, well, you know, that's not what you said it was with Boozer Boy, or, you know, how come you did this for Boozer Boy and you're not doing this for me, or, you know, I just run at the mouth, and I got to stop that because it just pisses her off, frustrates her, and as a result, she formulates an opinion about me and thinks that this is how it's going to be for the rest of our days if she's committed to a relationship with me, and yeah, so I gotta correct that. Right now, she's got me in the friend zone. She's keeping me at arm's distance because she has concerns about me as being a life partner. Several different facets of that. One is the fact that I just run off at the mouth and I don't have a filter, and I speak before I think. And so yeah, you know, walking on eggshells is what I got to do. So that's one facet. But one of the things I wanted to talk about today was finances. and I got to make it quick because I don't want this to drag into another 60-minute video. But that's one of her concerns about me. She's made 3 comments to me in the past and recently that every time she says it, just stabs me like a frozen knife. One of them is, I don't want to have to struggle in life. The next one is, you scare me. And the third one is, I have concerns about you. Do you have any idea how hard it is to wake up every morning and go to sleep every night and wonder if you're going to be good enough for this person? They're judging you that heavy that you're scared you're not going to qualify. You don't have any idea what kind of pressure that is? That's insane pressure. I live with it every day because she makes these comments all the time. She's concerned about finances. You know, she knows the situation I'm in. She knows I'm struggling. Hell, I had to borrow money just to make it through the payday because the winter beater needed a fuel pump, and that was an emergency. I mean, look, I got to go to work tomorrow. That's going to be nothing but an icy, sloppy mess. And if I would have had to take the Jeep with bald tires, I'd never make it out of here. I'd just sit and spin. That winter beater was an emergency. Had to be done. Tapped my checking account dry. Why? Because I didn't get a full 40 hours each week during the pay period, and I didn't work Saturdays for that overtime. So the paycheck was less than what it would normally have been. Shit happens. It's not a pattern of how it's going to be in my life, and that's what I want to get. That's what I kind of want to allude to here a little bit. She thinks she's doing pretty good because she sold a house and she stashed the money from that sale into a savings account, so she has 5 figures sitting in a savings account, and so she thinks she's fiscally responsible and financially secure and set, which in a way she is. She's not adding to that savings account. She's not growing it. She doesn't have the means to do that because her monthly income, every bit of it, is dedicated to surviving. But I don't have anything because during my marriage, we bought a house, we bought things, we bought toys. We had a dual income, so we were able to buy these things. They're not brand new. We didn't go into debt to do these things. We don't have debt. I gave her the house in the divorce, and I basically had to start over like an 18-year-old just kicked out of mommy's house. So I don't really have a pot to piss in right now. That's not how it's going to be in the future. I have some windfalls, like she had the windfall of selling her house. I have some windfalls waiting in the wings for me that are going to be huge. One of them is kind of morbid, so I'm not really going to count on it, but if it happens, it's going to be huge. First off is I have property up north, vacation property with a campsite. It's stupid for me to keep this. It's in a 3,500 acre private preserve. I'm a member of an association. I pay damn near $1,000 a year for the privilege of having this 3-acre campsite and access to 4 private lakes to fish. How many times have I gone up there this year? Twice. Both times for day trips. So I paid $500 a day to go up to camp. What kind of moron does that? It's ludicrous. Back when we first bought the property, we were up there every weekend. So then it was justified. Now, not so much. Now I plan on going up there this winter to do some ice fishing. So I'll use it, but I'm not going to get $1,000 worth. You know, the membership dues are over $700, and the property taxes, the land's paid off. So the smart thing to do now when the market is good is offload that property, take that money, stuff it into savings. It could be anywhere from, well, it's going to be 5 figures. All right. So that'll go into savings because I have an end goal of getting a small cabin up north on a lake and retiring up there. That's my dream. It's been my dream since I was 10. So that's one windfall that could come my way pretty soon. The second one is pretty huge if it happens. My father is the only family I have left. My mother passed away a couple years ago. My sister passed away many years ago from an eating disorder. So my dad's all I got left. He's getting up in age. He's in his 80s. He's living down in Florida. He bought a nice house down there. He sold the house that they had up here in Wausau that I grew up in. He got a pretty good chunk of change for that because it's a big old Victorian home. And he bought a nice house down in Florida in a gated community. I would say it's every bit a $2,000 or $200,000 house. So he's got that, and I'm pretty sure it's paid off or darn close to being paid off. I don't know. He's a professor at a college, so he makes good income. He's fiscally responsible. He doesn't like debt, so he pays his debt off. He lives on a credit card, but he pays it off every month in full. So he's fiscally responsible. So I'm sure he doesn't have a lot of debt. When he passes, there's a possibility, I don't know because we haven't discussed this. I'm not going to go to my dad and say, "Hey, Dad, when you go up to meet God, what's in it for me?" I'm not going to have that conversation with him. It's not my place. I'm not entitled to his money just because I'm his son. This is how I look at it. I don't deserve an inheritance. It's not his obligation to give me one just because I'm his son. But if it happens, it's going to be a really big windfall and a pleasant surprise. So we got the house in Florida. If he leaves that to me, boom, sell it. 6 figures instantly. If there's an inheritance, I don't know how much it is, but it's probably not going to be small. Boom, more money in savings. So now I got the money from my land that I sold, which is 5 figures. I got the money from the house in Florida that I sell, which is 6 figures, plus whatever inheritance he gives me. All of a sudden, I got a big fat savings account. I would be able to buy a cabin straight out, free and clear. And then all my other debts, which I'm working on, my Jeep is almost paid off. The loan I took for the turd here, which is only 5G, plus I tacked on a quick cash loan that I took for the Argo, which I'm not selling. I don't care. Whoever out there thinks I should sell that, pack sand. I love that little guy. Thunder Toad? Yeah, I got plans for that. All these debts that I have in life are small, surmountable, and my goal is to whittle them down to nothing, and I will do that. But this all takes time. So I got the diva looking at me, interviewing me for a job prospect as her future life partner. And what she wants to do is she wants to pry into my finances and see that I got this big chunk of savings and I've got my day-to-day finances figured out and everything is running smooth and I pay my bills and there's money left over to go out for dinner and dancing and drinks and whatnot. That's not my life right now. I was just thrust into this cold, cruel world after being in a marriage for 30 years where it was comfortable. I've been thrust out into the cold, cruel world like an 18-year-old getting kicked out of the house, and I gotta figure all this stuff out on my own. And half my income is gone. And I gotta survive on this. So it's a learning curve. The diva doesn't have patience. She claims she does. But every single contentious discussion we have or argument ultimately ends up with me not being fiscally responsible and her having concerns that the rest of her life is going to be a struggle. Oh, hells no. It's not going to be a struggle. It just requires patience. So there's a plan. I'm working on it. But there's no instant gratification, and there's no instant appeasement of her mental concerns, uh, just because it takes time for all of this to take place. So uh, she doesn't think I should be putting money into the turd here. She doesn't realize that this too could be a good windfall. Bought it for next to nothing. I put a minimal financial investment in it because I'm doing all the work myself and saving huge amounts on labor. And I can turn around and get my money back, or possibly even make a profit on this place when it's done. So she's not a visionary. She's not an optimist. She's a pessimist. And that's kind of a struggle between us. So she's basing her decisions on our relationship. She's keeping me in the friend zone and keeping me distanced. She doesn't want to jump into the pool with both feet and commit, because she told me this just the other day, 2 days ago. She wants to have the option to be able to bail if shit gets sticky. That's not cool. That's not a cornerstone. That's not a rock. That's not a life partner that I can count on. That's supposed to be there through thick and thin. You know, if you want the option to bail if it gets rough, and that's why you're pushing me out into the tall grass and holding me out there, that ain't right. I don't know, my opinion. But there's a plan. It's just going to take time to get through it. And she's an immediate gratification kind of girl, and she wants it, and she wants it now. And that ain't how it is. It'll get better. But anyway, I've got a project that I did last night, because it's been something I've been wanting to do for a while. It's been bothering me, so I just said, well, it's a 30-minute project. I can knock it out. But got some stuff done in here yesterday. Today, it's cold out there. It's windy. And I really don't want to roll around in the snow, but I gotta do this. It's cold in here right now. I got the furnace set at 74 thermostat, and it's chilly in this front living room. So I gotta stop the bleed. So I'll be out there this afternoon doing that. And I made some videos of the project I did in the bathroom. The bathroom's done, except for these two things that I wanted to accomplish. And I think I'm going to accomplish the other one this morning. I'm going to take care of it this morning. I got a light switch in there that some of the wires are exposed because it's a shallow box, because the wall it's an interior wall, and the interior walls in these trailers are only 1 inch thick, 1x1s. They don't use 2x4s. So you have to use a special kind of electrical box when you put in an outlet or you put in a switch, because it would be too deep and it would punch out the backside of the other room. So it's called a shallow box, and it actually, the box is only that deep, but it goes off to the side. It has a pocket off to the side, which allows you to tuck your wires into that pocket and be able to put that box into a 1 inch wall. So that's what the light switch has. Here, I'll show you. Why am I talking about it? It's just a short walk down the hallway. I'll show you what I'm talking about here. But so this wall here is 1 inch thick, and here's what I'm talking about. So the switch is here. All the wires get tucked into this pocket. Well, it leaves this open. So I have to custom make a cover plate that fits this opening to cover up those wires. So that's one of the goals today. And then I had another task in the bathroom there that I want to put up a vanity light by the bathroom medicine cabinet so I can see better to shave. So I did that last night. I filmed it, so I'll post that next. But I just wanted to make a quick video and talk about finances, because I actually do have a plan. And it's, a lot of my money is going into this, remodeling this. But once it's done, it's done. So, all right. Well, let's try to make it a productive day. Try to fix things with the Diva, and we'll catch you on the flip side.